Jensen, Sarif had me hack the convention center security logs for you. Sandoval signed out. He isn't there.
Taggart will know where he went.
You really think he'll tell you in the middle of a riot? In front of all the media?
He will if I ask real nice.
Well, if that doesn't work, he also has a dressing room backstage. Seems to me a man like Taggart must keep close track of his employees. Speaking of which, I also backtraced that breach in our own firewall. The one Sarif opened but forgot to tell us about.
The one he was using right before he hired me. Right.
Looks like our boss was being chatty with a private detective named Brent Radford. He lives on Earl's Court, in case you want to get chatty with him too.
Shut up, I'm gonna put another bullet in you.
Yeah, real tough guy. 5-on-1 and you still had to shoot me. Piece of shit.
Just hope they find what we're looking for your sake.
They won't, because I gave... Jensen? Oh, Christ.
Brent Radford?
In the flesh. For now.
How do you know my name? What happened here?
Answers for favors. There's a trauma kit I keep somewhere around here. Find it.
You need a doctor. I'll get help.
No time. They could be back any minute. Find the kit quickly if you want answers. Did you find the kit? Oh, sweet Jesus, the pain.
This should help with the pain. Now tell me what's going on.
Those sons of bitches. I should have seen it coming. I knew from the moment Sarif got spooked that this case would come back and bite me in the ass.
Sarif. So you're the investigator he hired to run a background check on me?
Detective. Or I was, until... Christ, fuck it. It hurts enough just trying to breathe. Point is, the goons that did this to me, professionals... I think your boss pissed off the wrong people, trying to dig up your dirt.
What people? What did you find?
No time to go into details. My storage unit, the sons of bitches, they're headed there now. Sarif had me uncover a ton of shit on you. Stuff even you don't know. Your parents, your real parents. The tests, the fire. What are you, Jensen? Some kind of freak?
Focus, Radford.
I mothballed the case in storage. It's in an alley. Behind the bank. Your files are there. But Michelle knows. Michelle knows more. You need to stop. You need to stop them. Give me another shot. Morphine. Or go fuck yourself.
Focus, Radford.
Ah, that hit the spot. I think I could get used to this stuff. Hey, I'm feeling a little more talkative. Already.
Why did Sarif stop the investigation? You said he was spooked. What spooked him?
You wouldn't believe me even if I told you. Hell, even I don't. I still don't believe it. You believe in ghosts, Jensen?
Sarif was spooked by ghosts.
Close enough. Illuminati. Conspiracies, theories, it's all bullshit. But you stink of it, Jensen. Enough to have your boss, one of the most powerful men in the world, look away. You're a ghost. A fucking tragedy. Everything you touch, everything that touches you, dies.
You mentioned someone named Michelle. Who's Michelle?
Your guardian angel.
Who is she?
Tell me, do robots even believe in angels? Or did they take that out of you? Did they take that away? You know, your soul, when they built you? Tell me, What was it like when you died, Jensen?
I know you're in a lot of pain, and the morphine is...
Just find her before they do. You owe her that much.
Who did this to you?
Guys in suits. One of them, David or Daniel, something like that, British accent. He was in charge. Talked about a Mr. Gray. They were in a hurry. 4 of them, not counting the one they left behind. Well-armed, disciplined. I didn't stand a chance. Maybe that metal corpse you call a body will do better than mine did.
What were they looking for?
You robot. They wanted my information on you. Someone powerful has their eyes on you and is very interested in your past.
I'm leaving, but I'll call in an ambulance. You'll be okay.
No. Those fucking animals. I can't move anything. I was turning around, pulling my gun when the first bullet hit me. The second one, they fucking paralyzed me.
I'm sure it's not as bad as you think. It might be a reaction to the morphine.
I know what morphine does. I also know what a 9mm round fired at less than 10 meters does to the thoracic vertebrae on impact.
You need a doctor. They can fix that.
I ain't turning into no freak. Even if I could afford the surgery, the augments, I'd rather die than be half a machine. And I sure as hell ain't gonna live the rest of my life in a wheelchair, shitting in a goddamn diaper.
Radford.
Listen, I know there's still a few more morphine shots. Another 2 should do the trick. Please, this is as close as I'm gonna get to begging you. Don't leave me like this. You owe me.
Why do you hate augmentation so much?
Because it ain't right. You can't go changing the way things are. You can't replace the real thing with an imitation. It ain't right. It ain't natural.
It can save your life.
No, you lose more than what gets left behind on the chopping block. You should know this by now.
Neither is suicide.
Don't you fucking judge me, robot. You don't know what I've been through. Come on, this should be easy for you. I know Sarif didn't put blades in those arms just so you could trim the hedges.
Is this what you really want?
There's a bear, Pope in the woods. Shit. I fucked that one up. Listen, robot, if I could do it myself, I would. I got no family left, no one left to mourn. It's for the best. I ain't gonna be no burden on society.
It'll be quick.
I know. You did a good thing. Here.
The ones that did this. I'll find them.
Look at you. An iron giant with a heart of gold. But don't do it for me. Do it for her. For Michelle. You owe her your life.
Pritchard. I located Radford. He was attacked by men in suits. Private security, Secret Service types. I'm going after them.
What about Radford? Did you get anything out of him?
He didn't make it. There was nothing I could do.
Right. I'll call it in. You have a new lead, at least?
Yeah, I'm on my way there now. I'll contact you when I have more.
If anyone's here, come out now. Someone's shooting!
Did I leave my door open? Wait, you're not from Rolling Mills. You're too handsome to be from Rolling Mills.
No, I'm not. Mrs. Michelle Walters, is it? My name's Adam Jensen.
No, no. You much too old to be him. You must be from Rolling Mills. And please, it's Miss Walters.
Brent Radford sent me. Do you remember him? He's a detective.
Yes, lovely gentleman. He still has my photos of Adam when he was a baby. Oh, could you be a dear and fetch them for me? I forgot who has them, though.
Are these the photographs?
Oh, yes, yes. Thank you. I haven't seen Adam Jensen in such a long time. Forever, it seems.
Miss Walters, can you tell me about the boy in those photos?
The boy in those photos? Adam. Tragic, really, what happened to his parents. His real parents.
His real parents?
They died in that fire. Horrible, really. I was there. At least those other cribs were empty. I only had to save Adam.
Mrs. Walters, I really need you to focus. What are you talking about?
Why, I already told that nice detective all this already. About the experiments and the fire at White Helix Labs. We knew Adam was special. That's why his parents started the fire, so they didn't do the same thing to the next batch of babies.
So Adam's real parents were trying to protect him. But from what?
Why, from the conspiracy, of course. But I've said too much. Would you be a dear now and go fetch my dinner?
Miss Walters, please. I know it was a while ago, and remembering all the details might be hard, but do you think you can try and focus for a minute? What did you tell the detective?
Well, Mr. Radford and I spoke about many, many things. But don't you have meals to deliver? And where is my dinner?
Thank you for your time, Miss Walters.
Oh, before I forget, if you see Adam, could you please give him this? It's for all the birthdays and Christmases I've missed. I've been saving them.
You've done enough for him, Mrs. Walters. I'm sure he'd want you to keep the money.
So nice of you. Like Mr. Radford and Adam. You know, they called him a genetic marvel. He was ahead of his time. They was hoping to tear out so much from his DNA, but we stopped him. Oh, yes, we did.
Pritchard, I need you to assign a temporary security detail to an apartment on Brooklyn Court until I can figure out a more permanent solution. The woman's name is Walters, Michelle Walters.
Security detail? What the hell, Jensen? Who is this woman?
She's family, but she's vulnerable. I'll explain later. Just do this for me, please. And not a word to Sarif. Can I trust you on this, Pritchard?
Christ, Jensen. All right. I'll do it. But there better be a damn good reason for this.
There is. I'll fill you in next time I see you. But right now I need to get back to work. And Pritchard, thanks.
Yeah.
Everything seems to be under control in the convention center.
And Taggart?
He's on stage.
Human evolution is a fantasy, but that is exactly what I am telling you. There's a world.
Where's your sidekick, Taggart? 6 months ago, Sarif Industries was attacked by mercenaries whose objective was to cripple our research. But I've learned the attack was just a smokescreen. Megan Reed's team was kidnapped, and Isaiah Sandoval, your personal aide, was involved.
That is ridiculous. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for Mr. Jensen's intrusion, and I assure you that these accusations are without basis.
Are they?
This is Sandoval. Why are you calling me here?
There's been a change of plans. Serif's team must not make it to the hearing.
But that's too soon. If you want me to remove the GPLs, I'll need a full operating suite. Does the facility have one?
That's your man, Taggart. Talking about removing implanted GPL devices so that the people who took Seraph scientists could cover it up.
I see what's going on here. Seraph Industries has received 2 black eyes in the last few days. The first, due to the shocking news coming out of Montreal that biotech companies are secretly participating in unethical super soldier experiments. And the second, as a result of their violent escalation of today's peaceful protest. David Seraph and his corporate bedfellows are desperate and in imminent danger of losing the regulation vote, so this man has been sent here to attack my reputation.
I'm right here, Taggart. Look at me. I admit, I wouldn't feel bad if your reputation was damaged in front of the press, since you've been doing the same to my colleagues for years, but that's not why I'm here. Seraph scientists are alive, and it's time for the truth to come out.
The truth, Mr. Jensen, is that this recording of yours proves nothing. It could have been made by anyone in the world with a grudge against Humanity Front, and you are our prime suspect.
You're right, it's not enough to get a conviction. But it's enough for a search warrant. That's all I want, Taggart. Why are you standing in the way?
I'm not. I'm trying to protect... Look, Mr. Jensen. I know why you came here instead of taking your recording to the police. I know the real reason for your accusations, and you're not entirely to blame for what you're doing. It is common, after trauma such as the one you suffered, to fixate on the event, to stay blocked in the past. In a word, you're obsessed.
I can worry about myself later. What's really important now is the 5 innocent people whose lives were stolen from them during that attack. Sandoval knows where they are. Now, where is he?
I don't want to see anyone's lives stolen from them. If you could see your situation clearly, you would realize you're being driven by your losses. Your actions are motivated by an attempt to regain a sense of control at my expense. You're turning me into your enemy when I'm not.
You want to talk about control, Taggart? Let's talk about yours. It takes a lot of discipline to stand up in front of the press every time a pro-augmentation company or clinic is assaulted and then denied responsibility. How does it feel to know your people are so out of control they would resort to violence like that?
My people aren't the ones committing these actions, Mr. Jensen, much as you might want it otherwise. Look at every speech I have ever given. Every piece of documentation available, all of them clearly indicate the same thing. Humanity Front is committed to nonviolence. Anything less would dishonor the memory of my wife, whose murder was the direct result of augmentation addiction. Who are you to suggest otherwise?
What happened to your wife was tragic. But what's happening to Seraph scientists is going on right now, and you have a chance to do something about it. You have nothing to lose if Sandoval's innocent. And if he isn't, you can preserve your reputation by helping me. Why won't you do that?
Because I just can't believe Isaias would be guilty of this, but you're right. Whether he's guilty or not, I have to get to the truth. Marjorie would want it that way. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize, but I'm going to have to beg your indulgence for a few moments more. If you will all please remain patient, I will return as soon as I can. Thank you. Mr. Jensen, I'll see you backstage. Mr. Jensen, I appreciate you allowing me to deal with this in a more discreet manner.
Save it, Taggart. You've wasted enough of my time as it is. Now, where's Sandoval?
He has an apartment he uses when in this city, on Grand River Road. He mentioned he was feeling very run down, so I can only assume he went there.
I see.
He's not an evil man, Mr. Jensen. If he's done what you say, it's only because of his brother, Ezekiel. A man you might know better as Zeke Sanders.
Sanders? The man who attacked Sarah's manufacturing plant?
I knew nothing about it until after it was over, and then I tried. I tried to convince Isaiah not to follow in his footsteps.
Good job.
Mr. Jensen, please. Isaiah has done so much for so many needy people, people suffering from implant rejection. Promise me you will deal with him fairly.
That all depends on Isaiah.
I understand, but please try.
Yeah. Of course I did. What do you think I am? An idiot?
You're not gonna make me answer that, are you?
Pritchard, looks like Sandoval's got a secret bunker. I'm gonna flush him out.
Let's hope he's still there.
And this is why I urge every member of my staff, every man and woman dedicated to the true mission of the Humanity Front, to do the same. Isaiah, if you're watching this, I beg you, do not allow misplaced anger to destroy everything we have struggled to achieve.
It's over. He knows I can't come back from that.
Everybody knows, Sandoval. You can't hide from what you've done.
What I've done, Mr. Jensen. I spent years patching people back together from augmentation botch jobs and systemic organ rejection brought on by implants. And now, because of Bill's betrayal, I'll never practice medicine again.
You really want to help someone? Tell me where Sarif's scientists are.
I wish I could, Mr. Jensen. But my involvement ended right after I failed to remove their GPLs.
You failed?
Turns out, my surgical skills weren't good enough to bypass David Sarif's insurance policy. So for all I know, those little implants are broadcasting right now, on a frequency so low your network specialist wouldn't think to look for it.
You changed the frequencies.
You have your answers, Mr. Jensen. And I've lost all of mine. The courts may think I have much to atone for, but my court will be a higher one.
How about I take that gun with me when I go?
You got everything you came for. Please, just leave.
Believe it or not, I'd rather you didn't kill yourself.
That's because you have no idea what tortures I've endured. The guilt, the shame. I was told the scientists would be used to find a peaceful solution to the augmentation crisis. Instead, I was involved in kidnapping and murder. My life ended that night. It's time for me to go.
Think about it. Are you really in such a hurry to face that higher court of yours?
At least there are no lies before God. Did you see that abominable press conference? William Taggart all but accused me of terrorism. He claimed that all the violence committed in the name of our cause was the result of my influence.
So stay alive long enough to tell him your side of the story.
He already knows it isn't true. I trusted that man. For years I gave him loyal service, and he betrayed me. He sacrificed my freedom and good name to save the reputation of his organization. It's no use fighting him. He'll just spin it again. At least if I die, he'll never be able to use me again.
So that's your plan? Just lay down and die so you can't be used again? That's bullshit. You need to face what's coming. There's a very thin line between martyr and victim, Sandoval. And if you pull the trigger, you won't be remembered as either.
You certainly like taking chances, Mr. Jensen. But your point has merit. Maybe I did give up too easily. Early on, I decided my life's purpose was to help people. But I failed as a doctor. Because by the time I see augmentation patients, it's too late. So I went to Humanity Front. And that wasn't improving anyone either. I was an idiot to think this would turn out differently from everything else I've tried.
You've got to be kidding me. You can do anything you put your mind to. You've earned yourself a doctorate. You became second in command to one of the most powerful men in the country. And you still kept trying harder. You've got more spirit than most people who think they're successful.
Thank you, Mr. Jensen. I never thought of it that way. Ever since the kidnapping, I've been haunted, knowing I'm partly responsible for innocent people losing their lives. The shame I feel, the guilt. I'm a mass murderer. I can't even look my wife in the eyes knowing that. I have destroyed everything.
You keep throwing out excuses for why killing yourself is the right thing to do, but the truth is you're lazy and scared and you want the easy way out. At least be honest with yourself. All the reasons you've given so far are nothing but bullshit. You and I both know suicide is a coward's act.
Yes, you smug bastard. I admit it. I'm a coward. I want an end to the torments I've been living with these last few months. And if you think you could do any better, think again. Here, take the gun. I may still be a coward tomorrow, but I'll be damned if I'm going to prove it in front of you today.
Pritchard, get this. The GPLs are still transmitting. Sandoval switched them to a lower frequency.
But they could be broadcasting anywhere in the world. I don't have the type of equipment we'll need to find them.
It's our only lead, Pritchard. You have to do something.
I know. Listen, the riot's still blocking the street entrance. Head back to your apartment and Malik will fly you over. Maybe by the time you get here, I'll have figured out something.
Seraph?
David's just stepped out for a moment, Mr. Jensen. But do come in. I've been hoping to meet you.
Mr. Darrow. I'm surprised you even know who I am.
David speaks very highly of you. He says that when it comes to detective work, you are like a dog with a bone. Have you found your scientist yet?
What else did David tell you?
Over the years, plenty. But today I'm here as a friend and fellow scientist. Things are getting quite turbulent out there, wouldn't you agree? So many people drunk on revolution. The United Nations being urged to intervene. And all because of the technology I created.
Things have come a long way since then.
Haven't they? And now my old friend David wants me to lead us to the Promised Land. He's asked me to invite members of the UN to Panchaea, to convince them we don't need industry regulation.
Your geoengineering project in the Arctic Ocean.
The installation couldn't have been built without the assistance of augmented workers. And when it's finished, my little hole in the ocean is going to stop global warming. A lovely photo op, wouldn't you say?
If it works.
You mean, if it doesn't kill us all?
Adam? You're back. Can I speak to you outside? Get to the helipad, son. You're going back to Hengsha Island. Frank tracked down one of the GPLs.
Only one? Is it?
Sevchenko's. But Adam had to call in a favor of the DOD to do it.
Meaning, the conspirators probably know I'm coming.